Hey y'all, I'm back. This morning, me and my husband went to the doctor's office, and I just want to give you guys an update on what happened. Today, they did a ultrasound so they could look at my uterus to make sure that there weren't any cysts or anything going on, and also to look at the lining to see how thick it is and how many eggs are kind of currently in my ovaries. I had to wait until they got the lab results back from the blood work that I did today as well before I could start my medicine. So initially I was supposed to start this morning, but the doctor gave me a call at 11 o'clock and said everything looks perfect. So we're good to go to start the meds tomorrow. But while we were there, we also had to sign a ton of documents, which made me think about stuff that I hadn't thought about before with this whole IVF process. One of the main documents was pretty much what would we do with the embryos if something was to happen to one of us, to both of us, or if we were divorced. You know, we chose that if somehow we both die tragically in a car accident or some other event, to donate our embryos to another couple that could be struggling with fertility. If one of us were to die, the other person would still be able to have access to those embryos. And if by God, some event of God happened and we decided to divorce, which I would never leave my husband, he would never leave me, so something we wouldn't have to worry about what we do with the embryos as well. We decided that essentially I would be able to keep the eggs and do whatever I wanted to do with them. There were also some forms that kind of went over what the whole IVF process entailed and the risks that were associated with it. And it's like, yeah, thanks for giving me this now after I have ordered $4,000 worth of medicine. Now you want to tell me all the risks that could possibly happen from this procedure. Granted, I knew that, any surgery, there could be some type of complications. But just reading them and having to waive rights to be able to sue the doctor or anybody involved, it kind of just is a sobering reality check. Because once again, I know that there's no guarantee that at the end of this process I'll have a baby, even though I am very optimistic that we will. Reading that in the documents, that there's no guarantee, what just puts you back in that mindset like, oh, holy crap. I'm really doing this. I'm really committing to this process. And then just going over the usage of all the meds. I kind of have to be a chemist with some of the injectables. I have to mix saline solution with powder, stir it up, insert in one syringe to put in another syringe. Granted, I've done it before with the IUI cycles that we've been through. But, I had to take a shot in the morning, a shot in the evening, every day for pretty much 2 weeks. It's on a whole nother level. We had to cancel some events that we had planned slightly before the removal of the eggs, just because, the doctor let us know that if I go over a speed bump in a car, that I would feel it. So I need to refrain from any type of rigorous activities and pretty much sit my ass down until they take all those eggs out. So it was a very informative office visit, and I'm glad at the end of it I got the phone call that everything looked good to go ahead and proceed with taking the medicine. I reached out to my doctor a couple days ago to see, was acupuncture something that I needed. I'd known a few other women who had acupuncture done for infertility before their IVF cycles. Some swear by it, some, still weren't successful. But anything that could possibly help my chances of conceiving this baby, I'm all for. So I found a place I could go today at 4 o'clock to get acupuncture. It'll be my very first time. I don't really know what to expect. As a child, I grew up terrified of needles. And pretty much I have been poked and prodded for the last year with needles in my veins so that I can do blood work pretty much almost every month, having to give myself shots in the stomach. Initially my husband started off giving me the shots, but there were some times that he wasn't going to be available. So I had to, put my big girl panties on and inject myself. But the thought of having somebody just willingly just laying down and having somebody stick needles all over my body at pressure points, that's a lot. But if it's going to help bring me that baby, let's try it at least this once. So I will check back in with you guys later on to tell you all about that experience. So stay tuned. All right, guys, I am back from my first acupuncture treatment, and it went a lot better than what I expected it to go. I thought it would be painful, but it wasn't really. She put a total of about 12 needles in me, one at the top of my head, between my eyes, between my chest, several in my wrist, my arm, and my right leg. The first two that she put in between my eyes, that one probably felt the best because it kind of made this vibration thing happen and was kind of soothing. The one she put in my wrist though, one of them actually made me say ow, because it felt like it, I could feel it breaking the skin. But the rest of them, it felt like a small, tiny little pinch. Nothing that is unbearable. Once she put all the needles in, she put some type of infrared heating pad over my stomach and turned out the lights and and told me to try to go to sleep. It was about a 35-minute session. Overall, I would say it was kind of relaxing. There was music playing with nature sounds, but it was hard for me to fully go to sleep because, one, it's not my bed. Two, even though the lights were off, the music was playing, had the heat pack, I could hear her walking down the hallway of her heels, opening other doors for the patients. So it wasn't a super relaxing atmosphere. I did make another appointment for next week Friday, but I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it with her. I may find someone else that has an atmosphere that's a little bit more quieter. And also I found her to be a little aggressive with her speech. So someone that's a little, I don't know, someone that's a little bit more nicer. But we'll see. But overall, like I said, I don't know if it's going to improve my chances or not. At this point, if they told me if I soak my feet in dog piss, it'll help me get a baby, I would probably do it. So anything that could possibly help improve my odds of getting that baby, I'm here for it.